Hi guys, we're here on the top of Jabal Akhdar mountain here in Oman. I'm here with Volkswagen for the regional launch of the all-new, brand new Volkswagen Teramont. Now, some of you guys will know this as the Atlas, but here in the region, they're sticking with the sort of T beginning that they have for all the SUVs. So you've got the Tiguan, the T-Roc, and the Touareg. The T-Roc, of course, is not available in our market. Where does this one fit in our market then? Well, actually, in terms of pricing, it fits between the Tiguan and the Touareg. So it's a good value proposition because it is, in fact, the biggest SUV from Volkswagen ever. This is, in fact, a full 7-seater SUV. Now, these are American-made. They're made in Chattanooga. I just like saying that. Chattanooga in Tennessee. That's where they're actually from. And they start with a 2-liter turbo engine. That puts out 220 brake horsepower. And I'll come to 0 to 100 time in a second. But I will tell you that the fuel economy on that is 12 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, that car starts at 137,000 dirhams. That's including the VAT, and I'll put the dollar conversion on the screen. That's the starting price. So again, great value proposition for a car of this size. The cars that we're driving are 3.6-liter V6 cars, normally aspirated. They're putting out 280 brake horsepower. Now, interestingly enough, the 2-liter has a slightly quicker, fractionally quicker 0 to 100 time of 8.6 compared to 8.9 for the V6. The V6, however, does give you 10.7 liters per 100 kilometer fuel economy, so slightly better economy there, so that's great. Now, the prices for the V6, they start at 146,600 for the S, rising to 165,400 for the SE, and up to 189,950 for the SEL. And if you go for the R line, which is a sort of a trim spec option, it's another 3,000 dirhams extra on top of that. And they all come with 8-speed automatics, and they're all-wheel drive. That's Volkswagen's 4-motion system. Now, the main thing about this car that they're pushing with it is the fact that it's extremely spacious, it's a people mover, and it has off-roading ability. So the main thing to do then is to actually see what the practicality is like, and we'll start as usual with the boot. So let's just take a look at the boot, and I'll just open it with the little button here. Let's do that. Now, the amazing thing about this is that being a 3-row vehicle, it still has a load of space in the back. In fact, 583 liters of cargo space behind the 3rd row. And you'll find with a lot of 3rd-row vehicles, you end up with no space at all. But you can easily fit a week's shopping in there, no problem at all. In fact, if you put all of the seats down, it's gargantuan. You have 2,471 liters of space. That's an epic trip to IKEA if ever there was one. Now, underneath here, there's a little bit of space, not a lot, but you've got tools and stuff like that. It's very easy to drop the seats. You just pull that lever and down it goes. Now, that's 3rd row. How spacious is that? And how spacious is the middle row? Well, it's time to go and check those out. So the 3rd row is accessible from here. Now, the good thing is that they've got a lever which gives you one motion. So if you just do that and pull that forward, it's a good access way of getting into the 3rd row. So even at 6 foot 2 inches, that's my height, I can just about fit here. Now, don't forget, these are adjustable, so I could move it forward and give myself a little bit more leg room. Back here, you've got a series of cup holders, little cubby boxes. So a fair number of things for the kids to put stuff, but really, I think probably for kids and teenagers, it's probably better. For me, I want to get in the middle seat and see what that's like. So we get into the 3rd row, and you know, very spacious back here. I'm, like I said, 6 foot 2, but I got loads of space. Check out the leg room that I've got. No issues with the knees. Plenty of rooms here, even for my shins, and wiggle room for the feet. And of course, you can fit 3 of me in here. It's very, very spacious. Now, we also have 3-zone climate control, so you've got actual AC controls back here. There's 2 vents, there's 2 USB points, and a power supply as well. In the center armrest, there's cup holders. Ooh, this thing has 17 cup holders altogether. Imagine that, in various sizes as well, so you definitely find one to fit your particular cup of beverage. You've also got Isofix child seat anchor points. There's 3 in the back here, and you can have both front-facing and rear-facing baby seats fitted to this car. So they've really thought about how this car can be used by families. Have they thought about how this car can be used by drivers? Well, that's what I'll find out next. So I've switched to another car here to do the interior and the drive. Now it's very, very spacious in the front, as you can imagine, and very practical. I mean, we've got a big old space here with the USB, aux and power supply. We've got cup holders, we've got massive cubby box over there. 8-speed automatic, of course. AC controls, a new brighter 8-inch infotainment system there, all very easy to use. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. We'll do that when we review the car properly. Panoramic roof, as I mentioned, check it out. And nice bit of trim here, looks quite nice. A nice place to be. Good seating position, you're high up, and as you can see, you see the square of the bonnet, so it's quite easy to place despite the size. You can pretty much make out where the extremities of the car actually are. Pillars, not too much of a problem. Big old wing mirrors as well on the sides. And really, it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing unusual or surprising in this car. It's all pretty straightforward. So let's take it for a bit of a drive. I should just say the stereo, 480 watts in the top spec version, so that's quite thumping, isn't it? So yeah, let's just take it for a little run. Now, this is not touted as a sports car. It's touted as something that is for families, and as such, they've designed it to be very easy to drive and very comfortable. So it's very smooth. So we're up here on Jabal Akhdar, which has some fantastic twisty mountain roads. Probably not the ideal scenario for this car. Having said that, understeer, as we'll see here, is admirably contained. There is a little bit of body lean, as you can see. It does quite well through there, but there isn't a lot of wallow. There's a little bit of float, but that's more geared towards comfort, so no real complaints about that. There's a bit of stuff rolling around in the back, sorry about that. But overall, actually surprisingly maneuverable, surprisingly easy to place and easy to drive around. The acceleration is okay. It's what you'd expect for a car of this type. It's interesting, you know, would be interesting rather to try the 2-liter turbo, considering that actually that's the quicker accelerating car, because my initial thoughts were, well, it won't be powerful enough. It's got 60 horsepower less, but it'll be interesting to try that. But having said that, this is probably the car that most people go for. These are the top spec cars, is the V6. Sounds good when you put your foot down. That's not too bad at all. Steering is very light, very good, very easy to use. But like I said, the whole point of the car, you know, is to keep it comfortable and easy for everybody to use. Generally fine. So that's our first drive review of the new VW Teramont from its regional launch here in Oman. Overall, I think a thumbs up, and I think the main thing about the car, which I think will appeal to a lot of people, is the pricing. It's very competitive. They're rivaling it against cars like the Ford Explorer and the Honda Pilot, but it's in that sort of maybe the top spec of this is sort of around the lower spec of a Land Cruiser or a Patrol. So it's sort of in that arena, and I think people that are looking at that car might want to look at this car. It may not be as extreme an off-roader as those cars, but I think in terms of everyday family practicality and space, I think it'll be pretty good. So yeah, let us know what you think of the car, the review, Oman, anything you like in the comments here below, elsewhere, whatever. And do please follow us on motoringme.com and all the social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And you know, whilst you're at it, check me out on Instagram. I'd love to see you there. So I'm about to pull back into the Anantara Al Jabal Akhdar Resort here in Oman, and I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic hotel, really, really nice. So if you're ever here, come and check this place out. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next one.